ordering decimals. When ordering decimals, place value is very important. We're going to begin by looking at the numbers to the left of the decimal. So if we look at our numbers, to the left of the decimal, if we're ordering these numbers from least to greatest, then the smallest number to the left of our decimal is this whole number, -3. -3 is the smallest whole number out of our whole set. So -3 68/100 would be our first decimal, least to greatest. So we're going to look for our next biggest, which means we're still looking at our whole numbers. So again, looking at our whole numbers, the next whole number, the next biggest, would be 56 thousandths, because the whole number 0 is greater than -3, but it's smaller than these whole numbers 2 and 3. So our next number would be 56 thousandths. So again, we're going to look for the next greatest whole number. So looking at our whole numbers again, 3, 3, 2, and 2, 2 is going to be our next number. 2 is smaller than 3. But we have 2 of them. We have 2 numbers with the whole number 2 in front. So we've got to move to our next place, our 10th place, and look at the 10th place to see which of our numbers would be the next in our line from least to greatest. So looking at the 10th place, this number, 2 and 2,344 10,000ths, has a smaller number in the 10th place than our other decimal does. So since we're ordering from least to greatest, this number would be next. Followed by 2 and 3,872 10,000ths, since it was the next because of our whole numbers. So we're done with our 2's, moving on to our next whole number. These 2 are the last ones I have, and again, they have that same whole number. So then we'd move to the 10th place to compare our 10th place and see which one is smaller. Looking at our 10th place, again, they have the same number. So still we don't know which one's going to come next. So we move on then and look at the 100th place. Looking at the 100th place, they're still the same. So right now we still can't tell which one's bigger, which one's smaller. So we move one more place over to the 1000th place. Looking at the 1000th place for this number, we have a 2 in the 1000th place. But looking at 3 and 57/100ths, there is no number in the 1000th place. When you're missing a number after your decimal, it's always 0. In fact, you could fill in as many zeros after each one of these numbers as you wanted to. It doesn't change your number. So since this number has a 0 in the 1000th place, and this decimal has a 2 in the 1000th place, that means this number is smaller, so it'd be our next number in the series. So 3 and 57/100ths, followed finally by 3 and 572 thousandths. So when you're ordering decimals, start by looking at your whole number and ordering that from least to greatest. If your whole numbers are the same, like they were here, then look at the 10th place and see which one is smaller in your 10th place. If, like in these numbers, you have the same whole number, the same number in the 10th place, then you move to the hundredths. If those are the same, you move to the thousandths, and so on until you find the numbers from least to greatest.